During this time frame, you're either going to say that Corona set you back or that Corona set you up. Either way, you've got to capitalize on making sure that you're investing in the time that you have. I'm wanting to give you all some feedback for all of my professionals out there who have their careers dependent upon them sounding poised, polished, and professional when they give their presentations. There are 4 types of audience styles or listing types you need to be aware of. I want to give away some knowledge today, baby. All I want you to do is understand that the way you communicate, the way that you talk, the way that you present, the way that you negotiate, it needs modification. Now, for all of you who are from the South, I want you to finish this phrase. Do unto others as you're probably saying as you have them do unto you. Well, that makes a lot of sense from a spiritual and from an ethical perspective. When it comes to communication and presentation skills, especially sales presentations, it's not just enough to treat people the way that you want to be treated or to talk to them the way that you want to be talked to. To boost your sales, to get more yeses, to improve your overall interpersonal communication skills, I want you to incorporate the following ideology. Treat other people the way that they want to be treated. Here's why this is going to help boost your sales. No matter if you're a type A or a type B, or whether you are a chit-chatty person or a no-nonsense person, it's not just enough to talk to folks the way that you want to talk to. You've got to learn the art of adaptation. I see you, Della Toro. Oh, that's my mentor right there, baby. That's my brother, man. Oh, sugar, sugar. Love you, Della Toro. You taught me a lot, my brother. Appreciate you to death. Hey, as you would say, love you to life. There are 4 types of audiences that you need to adapt to. Now, whether you are one of my clients in club industries, or if you're one of my clients in human resources, or one of my clients in the hotel or hospitality, or whether you're one of my clients in information or technology, the content I'm sharing is for anybody out there that wants to be more successful in the way they present. There are 4 audience types that are outlined in my book, Lead Out Loud. I'm going to give this away to you right now. I want to make sure I'm putting value in your world during this COVID-19. Make sure you put something in your brain that's going to make you better when we come out of this hibernation that we're in right now in terms of our physical distancing. Here are the 4 audience types. These are the types of styles that are needing to hear something specific from you as the way that they present. Each of these audience types needs you to present content in a certain way. They need you to say content with a certain delivery method. They need you to present your information in a way that they can best process it. Most of our audiences, most of your sales pitches, most of your negotiations, you're going to have a combination of all 4. So it will increase your propensity to be successful by you understanding each of these 4 styles needs to hear something specific from you. Let me tell you what they are right now. The first audience type is called ease. Ease audiences need step-by-step information from you as their presenter. Ease audiences need you to have a slow speaking rate. They don't do well with speakers who jump around and bounce around in their content. They don't do well with deviating from any worksheets or PowerPoint. And ease audiences need you to ease into the conversation. They are not all business. They are not all no-nonsense people. They need you to be methodical in your approach and to be steady in your delivery. The second type is called emotional. Emotional audiences, they need you to bring some energy. They need you to bring some storytelling. They need you to bring some interaction and some humor. They want to be engaged. If you go to a sales pitch or give a presentation and you're the only one talking, you will lose the attention of the emotional audiences. Now let's stop right there with those first 2. Let's take a look at something. If you look at the ease audiences, they make up 40%. The emotional audiences, they make up 28%. Now if you stop right there, both the emotional audiences at 28% and the ease audiences at 40%, add those 2 together. You're looking at 68% of your audiences, of your prospective clients, of your prospective customers. They are people. They're wanting to be engaged. They're wanting to be asked questions. They're wanting your personal attention. So just emailing them, it's not enough. You got to pick up the phone. Just sending them a text message, it's not enough. They want to shake your hand. Well, maybe not shake your hand now, but once the COVID's over, they need interaction from you. They need reassurance. They need to hear your name. They need to hear you say their name. They need to hear your voice. When the voicemail comes on, don't just hang up the phone. They'll put down the answer machine. They want to be connected with you. Both the ease audiences and the emotional audiences are going to be the majority of who you talk to when you give your sales pitches. So if you have a gift of gab, or you are loquacious, or you are chit-chatty, or you have the element of verbosity, you want to make sure with these two audience types, you try to listen more than you talk, because you win over these two audiences, the ease and the emotional, by adapting to them at the people level, not always the content level. That's the ease and the emotional. There's a third type of sales audience that needs to hear content from you in a specific way, and that is the expert audience. Now, the expert audience, the name is deceiving, because as an expert audience, they are not experts. They expect you as the speaker to be an expert. Now, the expert audiences are the smallest of the 4 audience styles. They only make up 14% of your listing styles. So if you have an audience of 100 people, maybe 10 or 14 are going to be expert listeners. Expert listeners need detail from you as their speaker. They need content. They need validity. They need quantifiable data, such as numbers, dates, times, percentages, and dollar amounts. You have to avoid using the following words with expert audiences. Avoid using words such as usually, basically, pretty much, guesstimate. Those words make expert audiences nervous. If you ever use a quote and you say, a famous person once said, expert audiences are going to want to know who is that person. If you ever use a statistic to an expert audience and you say, research has shown, or studies have proven, or experts agree, expert audience is going to say, what's the source of that study? When was it conducted? Where can I find more information on that? You need to be prepared that expert audiences are going to ask you those tough questions. And if you are unable to respond or answer the difficult questions of those expert audiences, you're going to lose professional validity. And they don't care about the longevity of your program or your company or the reliability of your brand. They're looking at you as the presenter to effectively share with them quantifiable data. If you can with the expert audiences, they're going to love you. If you can't with the expert audiences, they will chew you up and spit you out, baby. Then there's a fourth and final style, and that is the efficient audience. Efficient audiences make up 18% of the population. They're the second smallest, only to the expert audiences. Now, both the expert and the efficient audiences, they're going to have a no-nonsense approach. In other words, if you're talking to an expert audience or an efficient audience, save the charm, save the jokes, save the humor, save the stories. Because these two audience types, they don't care. They need data. They need information. They need validity. Efficient audiences want you to be quick. If they ask you a yes/no question during your presentation, give them a yes/no answer. Feel free to let them know that those more details you can share. But if an efficient audience asks you a question such as, can you have this done by Monday, 5 p.m.? And you answer such as, possibly, or maybe, it depends, or we'll see, you will lose the validity of the efficient audiences. Efficient audiences also don't want a PowerPoint presentation that is inundated with details and charts and graphs. Expert audiences love it. Efficient audiences hate it. You want to give them something to look at? Make 1 slide. Make 3 slides. Give them a handout with all the content on it. 1 sheet. If it has to be 2 pages, make it front and back. 1 page. Hand them 1 thing. They don't want 6 things. Efficient audiences are also going to have direct questions. You need to make sure you give them direct answers. If they want more detail, efficient audiences will let you know. If you look at combining the expert audiences at 14%, and the efficient audiences at 18%. These two combined make up 32% combined. So only 3 out of 10 are going to be one of these styles. Here's the challenge that sales professionals have. We've been taking our same presentation, not doing our research, not doing our homework, and we're giving the same content with the same message, with the same delivery to different listing styles. And the percentage of success that you've been getting has convinced you, well, it's working, I'll keep doing it. I want to challenge you to make sure you expand and you demand more from yourself, and you increase your sales closure rate by adapting your content based on who you're presenting to. If you are selling, let me give you an example. When I was a senior at Middle Tennessee State University, Blue Raiders, whoop whoop, I sold vacuum cleaners. Not just any vacuum cleaners, I sold Kirby vacuum cleaners. Now, for all those of you who are in sales, imagine a brother that looks like me in the late 1990s going door to door, no emails, no scheduled interviews. I'm going into trailer parks. I'm going into less than affluent neighborhoods, looking like I look, where 99% of the people there don't look like I look, and I'm trying to sell them the G5 Kirby vacuum cleaner that at that time, back in the late 1990s, had an average cost of about $2,000 for a vacuum cleaner. I learned quickly how to adapt my sales pitch based on the style of the person I'm talking to. Now, if the person was an ease audience and they needed step by step, I would start off with, what are the challenges that you have right now with your time? Well, what would be your thoughts if I could give you back more time? Based on whatever vacuum cleaner you're using, how happy are you with it right now? What would you say if I could show you something that could beat what you currently have? And I would just ask them questions and I would tiptoe into it. Then they finally open up and say, okay, let me see what you got. If I'm talking to an emotional audience, I would ask them, would you like a device that was fun to use and cool, that was brand new, that would make you the envy of all of your neighbors? Now, at that point, they go, ooh, what do you got, what do you got that? And I would show them all the attachments. I would show them all of the different cool features, like it could also be used as an air freshener, which is really cool. How to shampoo your carpet, which is also really cool. Some of them needed it. So I would use those approaches. If I talk to an expert audience, I would say to them, what's more important to you? A device that works short term, really great, or a device that's going to work long time and will be strong and effective for the next 20 years. I would ask them questions such as, what do you look for in reliability? How do you define quality? And I would go into the history of the organization. I would talk about the 20 plus years of engineering that went into the device. I would talk about our money back guarantee if they were dissatisfied. And I would give them content. For efficient audience, I would say to them, show me the dirtiest spot in your house. If I can't clean it, you can get to keep the machine. Almost always they let me come in. Now I had to be careful because some of them had some really dirty spots, but the device worked, the machine worked, and I could always, 9 out of 10 times, I can clean their carpets. A lot of them had pets, and I would ask them to show me the oldest pet stain you got. And then I would be in and out in 15, 20 minutes. I'm selling the same device. I'm giving the same content, but I'm sharing it in a way that they're going to best listen. If I tried to be bottom line with an emotional audience, they kick me out. If I tried to be too salesy or too uppy with an ease audience, they kick me out. If I didn't answer direct questions with the efficient audience, they kick me out. If I didn't have the facts for the expert audience, they kick me out. What I want you all to understand are 3 things. Number 1, to improve your sales, you have to know what kind of speaker you are, what kind of presenter you are. If you are a no-nonsense speaker, you got to own that. Be authentic in who you are. If you are an emotional speaker and you like to tell stories, that's okay. Own who you are. So first, understand the type of speaker that you are. Number 2, learn which type of audience you're talking to. It's not a one-size-fits-all. Those who are most successful in sales understand the art of adaptability. You got to be able to share your content in a different way based on who you're listening to or who's listening to you. And number three, you have to learn the art of adaptation with the communication do's and don'ts. Every audience type needs to hear something specific. Emotional audiences have to hear stories, and they hate a lot of detail. Ease audiences need to know what you're going to get through, and they hate you being rushed. Expert audiences have to have detail, and they hate vague answers. Efficient audiences, they need direct answers, and they hate it when you lack accountability or beat around the bush. When you understand all four audience types, you adapt your content accordingly, and you can boost your sales. This is the content that I wanted to share. Hope that this has brought you some value to your world. The next time you have a presentation, whether it's a sales pitch one-on-one, whether it's negotiation with a group, whether it's a webinar with several hundred people, it doesn't matter. The more you can adapt your content of what you're going to say based on who you're going to say it to increases the likelihood that you can get more yeses and close more sales. Remember that success in sales doesn't always go to who's the most connected or even who's the smartest or even who works the hardest. I know. Success in sales is about, can you adapt your message to identify the pain points of who you're talking to and to provide to them solutions so that you can make sure that what you have to offer will bring them value. When you establish trust, then they will trust you, then they'll trust your product. It has to be in that order. So don't go in trying to sell them something they might not need. Understand their approach, understand their listing style, then adapt your delivery accordingly, because success in sales goes to those who have the ability to adapt. Hope you found this valuable. If you want more detail, please feel free to go to my website at vincentphipps.com or subscribe to my YouTube channel at Vincent Phipps. Hope this has brought you some support and some help during this time. Make sure that you are sanitizing and smiling in that order. I'll talk to you soon. Take care.
Communication VIP.